channel. If you're new here, I'm Jasmine and welcome to my channel. Today's video, I'm going to be doing a tutorial on how to do a twizzle in figure skating. So I recently saw a video of someone posting that they like watching skating, but instead of jumps, they prefer watching these. And they didn't know what the names of twizzles were. So I felt like I needed to create a tutorial on how to do them and also share some information on how people like what their name are. So we're going to be going over twizzles. These are basically used in a lot of moves in the field test, and they're used in footwork sequences and programs and stuff like that. And it's basically like a spinning 3-turn. It's like 3 turns that are like consecutive, and it's really fun to do and they look really cool. So I'm going to be teaching you guys how to do them today. So last year in January, I actually passed my senior free dance, and we had my coach who taught me my free dance. She's my choreographer right now, and she yelled at me so long to get my twizzles good. So I learned a lot from her, and she gave me a lot of tips and tricks on how to make my twizzles better, because if you guys didn't know, in free dance, twizzles are one of like the required elements. Like, you have to have a twizzle sequence in your program and stuff like that. So she yelled at me a lot, but it paid off, and now I can actually kind of do decent twizzles. Sometimes they're still pretty hard, but I learned a lot of fun tricks and a lot of things that are going to make them easier when you're learning how to do your twizzles. So I'm going to be sharing with you guys those today. Before we get into the video, I just wanted to mention that my choreographer that I just mentioned like 2 seconds ago also sometimes watches my YouTube videos. So hi Paige, if you're watching, please don't yell at me if my twizzles aren't twizzling. Alright guys, so I'm not sure if you're able to see the drawing that I did on the ice. It's kind of wonky, but it gets the job done. So basically all a twizzle is a bunch of consecutive 3 turns, one after another with no pauses in between, and it creates like a spinning motion on the ice. So basically you can go into twizzles almost any direction that you want. They have forward, inside, and outside twizzles on both legs, backward, inside, and outside twizzles on both legs, and you can really do whichever twizzle you want, and I'm going to try and go over all of them today if I can. So what we're going to be doing is I like to start in a T-stop for my twizzle like this, and I'm going to have my opposite arm in front of me, which is opposite of the leg that is in front of me, and this is going to help you check when you're going into your twizzle just like this. So it's just like a nice inside edge. So what we're going to do is now we're going to press. You want to make sure that you have your knee bent, because you don't want to go into a twizzle with a straight knee, or else you're not going to be able to do the 3 turns. So it's basically the same basics as a 3 turn. So what all you're going to do is you're just going to go here, you're going to bend your knees, you're going to push, and you're going to do slow 3 turns. So that's how we're going to start off. So basically you don't have to worry about doing a super long twizzle or super fast twizzle at first. And this is something that I really struggled with, because when I first learned my twizzles was a long time ago when I first started skating, and I thought that you really have to like swing your twizzles, and I struggled with them all the way up until like last year, until I actually learned the right way to do twizzles, because I always swung them around. I would always fall out of them. And then once I started doing dance, or once I started working on my senior free dance, that's when I really learned how to do an actual twizzle, and that's when my coaches told me that I have to really go slow into them. And the goal here isn't to like speed through them as quick as possible. You just want to make sure that you're doing each of the turns nice and slow. So for our twizzle, we're just going to start off by doing 4 nice and slow 3 turns. So we're going to start off forwards, and we're going to turn backwards, forwards, backwards, forwards, and then we're going to do one more to go backwards. So that's going to end up making it 5 actually. Sorry. So what we're just going to do, we're going to go here, and what we're doing with our legs, our arms are going to be nice and open just like this, and we're going to bring them in front of us like we're holding like a basket, or we're holding like a really big beach ball or something in front of us. And our legs, they're going to be here, and you want to bring them right here to your knee. So when I was learning my twizzles, they taught me to put them kind of like to the side, open it up to the side. You don't want your foot to be like this with your knee turned in on your twizzle, or else it's not going to look really pretty. But if you put your foot like right behind your knee, you can even put it a little bit lower if you need to, but you want to open your knee up just a little bit so that it looks like a lot more open, and it just looks a lot nicer when you're doing the spin. Or the twizzle, sorry. So you're just going to be in this position while you're doing your twizzle. We're just going to have our foot right here, right behind us, with our knee nice and open. So that's where we're gonna do the 3 turns too. So we're gonna go, we're gonna push together, 3, 4, 5, and we're just gonna come out just like that. So the same principles apply to when you're doing it forwards on an outside edge and when you're doing them backwards as well. So I'm gonna show you guys what those look like. So basically, I'm just gonna get into my T-stop, I'm gonna push, and I'm gonna come out just like that. So that was my outside twizzle, and now I'm gonna show you guys what my backward twizzles look like. Twizzle, you want to make sure with your upper body that you want to keep it faced outside of the circle, because that's actually going to help you create the resistance that you need when you're doing your twizzle, and it's also going to help you not swing it around. You don't want to step into your twizzle with your arms like this, going like that, or else you're going to fall into your circle and you're not going to be able to do like the 3 turns, or you're not going to be able to do the twizzle at all in general. So what we're doing is I'm just going to step. I'm going to show you guys my outside twizzle. We're going to step, and we're gonna have our arms nice and open to the side. So we're gonna push. And if you feel that when you're doing your twizzle, if you feel the resistance it's kind of like you're pushing on something, but like a wall or something right there next to you, and that's just gonna help you create that resistance so that you don't swing your twizzle, and it's gonna help you control it a lot more. So you just want to work on that, and that's basically the real thing that helped me a lot with getting my twizzles, because I struggled a lot with my backwards twizzles and my forward outside twizzles. So what we're going to do is when you're doing backwards, you're going to go here, and since I'm spinning or turning that way in my twizzle, my arms are going to be opposite. So if you think about it, whichever way you're going, your arms are going to be opposite of the direction that you are turning. So I'm going to go here. And for this one, my arms are going to be inside of my circle, so I'm going to push just like that. Alright guys, so I'm actually on my phone right now, and you might not be able to hear me as well as you were in the other clips, but I actually just did a twizzle. I found a clear spot on the ice, and I wanted to show you guys something that's really important that you want to try and aim for when you're working on your twizzles. So as you can tell, this line right here is my twizzle, and you can see like the bumps or like those humps, kind of like 3 turns like that. And if you look through the whole twizzle, minus this one, this was like a mistake. You want to make sure that you kind of have even lobes all throughout, and that's really going to make your twizzle nice and even, and it's what's going to make it look super nice. And then this is what it looks like from farther away. I don't know if you guys can see it, but that's what the twizzle looks like. So instead of, if I did that one even, then it would have been a really good twizzle. But basically the one thing that you want to make sure that you're aiming for is to try and have all of them to be even lengths. So the last thing that I wanted to go over as like kind of like a tip on how to get your twizzles a little bit better is when you're doing your twizzles, you don't want to be completely flat foot through like the twizzles, because you're not going to be able to go around as well as you want to, and it's going to create these like unwanted pauses. So what you kind of want to do is you kind of want to roll back and forth, so to your toe and then to your heel, and that's what's going to help you create that like moving motion. And if you guys know how when you do 3 turns, you roll up to your toe, and then that's how you roll up, and then you roll back down. Same thing when you do backward 3 turns, you roll to your heel, and then you roll all the way down, and that's how you're gonna be able to get the turn completed. So you wanna make sure that when you're doing your twizzles, you wanna really focus on going toe, heel, toe, heel. So what we're gonna do is it's toe, heel, toe, heel, toe. So when you're doing your twizzles, it's kind of the 3-turn motion that I was telling you guys. You wanna really feel that. So you wanna go all the way up to your toe, heel, toe, heel, toe, and that's just going to help you keep going and give you enough speed to finish the twizzle. And you just want to make sure that after you get that down, you want to kind of eliminate a little bit of the pausing in between, and you kind of just want to make it flow nicely together, and that's how you get your twizzles a little bit better. that it helped you guys get your Twizzles a little bit better and that these tips helped you guys get Twizzles or just get them better in general. And I hope that you guys enjoyed. And if you guys have any other requests for videos that you guys want me to do, leave those down below in the comments and I would be happy to do those for you guys. And I will see you guys in my next video. Love you guys. Bye.